right, let's rise for the pledge of allegiance. Neil, would you lead us?
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Linda, would you give roll call?
Sarah?
Here.
Betty? Here. Neil?
Here.
Hank? Here. Chris?
Here.
All here.
And we'll open it up for public comment. Paul?
Good evening, everybody. Paul, Stone Arabia. Non-political announcement on September 10th at Fulton Montgomery County Community College, 1 o'clock. They're having the traveling wall for Vietnam Memorial, and they're also having a special dedication monument for all the members of Fulton Montgomery County that lost their lives in the Vietnam War. All the families have been located. There are like 100 different families they're going to make special presentations to, and the public are invited. There'll be refreshments afterwards, and just bring a chair for yourself to be sitting.
What time did you say it was?
1 o'clock.
1 o'clock.
Yeah.
And where is it again?
Fulton Montgomery Community College.
FMCC?
Yeah, that's right. Okay. Just a quick question. We had the video taken last month. How come it wasn't up on the website? I got a call from Rusty Capice, directed this at Trustee Yearden. He wanted to know if anything's been done in the last couple of months regarding the grant for the sewer and water on Route 5. Also directed to Town Supervisor Nicoli. I had FOIL request information about the labor lawyer. Asked at the board meeting why I hadn't received info on FOIL. No response. 10 minutes after the close of the meeting, I get a call from Linda Logan, the town clerk, saying you gave her the info. I just don't understand why I couldn't have it prior to the meeting. Regarding the labor lawyer, I'm really confused why the town hired someone out of Westchester County, unless they were assigned that by the union out of Chatham. His two bills, right now, the first bill, he's getting $150 per hour plus mileage. The first bill was 11.2 hours for $1,680. Mileage, 2 trips, $190.08. Second bill as of 7/31/2016, $150 per hour, 7.2 hours for a sum of $1,080, and mileage was $186.84. I just want to say that I think if we had the board had just given the highway guys more than a 13-cent raise, they wouldn't have had to gone to the Teamsters, and I imagine so far we're up over $3,000 in legal fees. Just wonder where that money's coming from to pay that, because it was never allocated in the budget. I'm not just real sure how that works. Quick question on the training expense. I also foiled that. How come we're just requesting Mr. Novak and Yearden with their mileage? Two people was $268.80 for two. Trustee Vandenberg's training was $557 and with mileage. It just doesn't add up. The difference is $288.20. Am I wrong with that, Neil? Okay.
I believe you are.
What?
Hold on just a second.
Yeah, according to the vouchers.
You
that's
can
what
get
it
the
said.
number from
Okay,
Linda.
yeah, that'd be great,
Okay.
Neil. And finally, Linda, have you gotten the password yet for your?
No.
Okay, I spoke with Mr. Robert Freeman. I'm sure you all know who he is. I'm going to ask the town board if they would take a recess. Have Sarah, would you please go in, fix Linda's password. The reason I'm asking in this is I'm waiting 7 weeks now for my FOIL request from Mr. Novak.
Password for what?
Excuse me?
Password for what?
To get into my email. I can't get into the website from my email.
Yeah, absolutely. No.
Okay, if the board would take a recess and do that, because I would really like to see the emails that he forwarded. He wouldn't, as he stated, he won't send it to Linda on the Frontier email. because he doesn't want to do something with the contract. The emails.
Just to be clear, Linda's received it multiple times, but I'm happy to, in a recess, just go in and set it up.
Would you? But I would like you to
No
do
problem.
that, and so I could get those and see them,
Of course.
okay? Because right now, with myself, it seems like something is just not right. I mean, the credibility, actually, Mr. Novak should be pushing this because it's his credibility. You know, as far as I know, there are no emails. And that's about it. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Great, thank you. Any other comments?
There's still been a lot about solar farms in the on the papers, on many of the towns, and I've heard nothing from the town of Palatine.
Thanks, Skip. Any other comments?
Sandy McCullough from Horning Road. Sarah, what has been done about the Pam McKenzie comment that she made to Art? After all, we do not want another lawsuit that has not been answered, that needs to be answered. You know, I wonder if you have any shame, Sarah. I mean, you constantly are blaming everybody for not getting your emails, whether it's your mail or your emails. Everything is everybody else's fault. In your own words, that you said at the last meeting, I can't be both a mother and a supervisor. Your credibility is shot.
Did you just say I can't be a mother and a supervisor?
Right, town supervisor.
You-
That's what you said. That's what you said. What am I
That's
supposed
really
to say?
special. Keep going.
Okay. Your credibility is shot.
Because I'm a mother and a supervisor.
No, because you lied.
Because I said I was a mother and a supervisor. That's absolutely true. And I believe
But you can't
that
do
any
all your
woman
work.
ought
Use
to
it
have
as
the
an
right to be a
excuse.
mother
Oh,
and a
you'd like to
supervisor. And if
argue?
you have a problem with that, I am sorry, but you and I will never
Excuse
agree.
me, let's
Keep going.
calm down. You use it as an excuse as to why you can't get your job done.
I'm pulling up the time here because I can tell you've got a lot of sheets there. I want to make sure we keep you to the 5 minutes.
Okay. I write very large.
But-
You need to resign because you can't.
Because I'm a mother and a
handle-
supervisor.
No, I didn't say that.
You did.
You
just
sound like
said
Hillary
that.
Clinton
I'm a mother
now,
and a
exaggerating
supervisor,
things.
and I can't be a mother and a supervisor.
You
So
made that
make another
comment
argument
at the
because that
last
one's not
meeting.
working.
You made that comment after Bob Schlutzhauer said that you weren't able to do your job.
Because I'm a mother and a supervisor.
That's what you said. You
Keep
couldn't
going.
do both.
I love this argument. It
I'm
makes
not
me
arguing.
happy
You're
in my
arguing.
soul.
What's the matter? Did I hit a nerve?
Yeah, you really did. Anybody who comes into my town hall in the town
Your
hall that the
town
people
hall?
of
Since when is
Palatine
this
elected
town- your
me
town
to
hall?
and tell me that I can't be a mother and a supervisor.
I'm quoting
That
what you
makes
said.
me
I am
furious.
quoting.
And I
Let's
am
get this
sorry
straight.
that you are
I'm
a
quoting
woman
what
and
you
also
said.
a mother, and you agree that you can never be anything
Oh,
more
listen to her.
than.
My 5 minutes is going
You're
to be up
born.
if you don't stop talking.
I started late. But
Who do
have
you
4
think
minutes
you
and 1
are
second left.
interfering with the planning board? You told Cliff, you called him and told him to pull the permit for the windmills. You're not supposed to be doing that. You're supposed to keep your nose out of their business. Even Greg Dunn told you that that's not what you're supposed to be doing. By the way, if you solve those issues for Cliff so he doesn't resign, you hit him at the door, trying to stop him from resigning. There's a scheduled workshop here Friday for the windmills and solar panels. The last meeting on just the windmills alone, there were over 500 people. I do not think this little building is going to hold the people that are going to show up. It's obvious, for numerous reasons, we do need still a new building. New furnace, new roof, not enough room, air conditioning. Let's move forward. Let's not stay stagnant. Finally, where is your transparency, Sarah?
I'm busy being a mother. I'm
You
sorry.
ran on that you wanted to be so transparent, and obviously you're not. So, you know, you need to resign, because obviously you cannot do
know.
both.
It's so hard to raise a 13-year-old and also do things. for
You
my
said it, I
family.
didn't. You said it at the last
Mm.
meeting.
It's so sad that I need to stay home and
So I
the
guess I
laundry.
made it under my 5 minutes. I'm done.
Okay, thank you. You're so special.
I know I
I'm just
am.
shocked right now. I'm kind of like, whew.
Nothing you do shocks me.
Well, to be so blatant that a woman
Look at how
can't
transparent you are
can't-
now.
be a town supervisor,
I'm
serve
done.
the community.
I'm done.
I'll keep going then. And also raise a child is so out
Stop
of the
taking it
limits.
out of context. It's what you said. I didn't say it.
No,
It's
you
what
just said
you
it.
said. You answered Bob
Okay.
Flexhauer with that answer when you were asked why you couldn't get your job done.
Yeah. I look forward to your next rationale. Okay, any other comments?
Are these meetings recorded?
They are now, yeah.
If there is a statement about a direct statement, it should be checked on those minutes to find out if they're accurate.
It's on Here We Go, Watch Us Grow. The last meeting was taped. It's on there.
Where I said I couldn't be
Well,
a mother and
that's what I'm
supervisor.
asking.
No, I think
Is
Bob
what you said on
Schlesauer
the
said I
tape?
couldn't be a mother and town supervisor. And then you reaffirmed that you don't think I can be a mother and town supervisor. And anybody who continues to want to say that, I will fight. Because that is against everything I believe in the world. I have a 13-year-old daughter, and all I want is for her to grow up and understand that she can do absolutely anything she wants. And if I have
Now
somebody
you're going
from
way
my
out of.
town
Now you're going
sitting
way
there
out of the
telling
realm.
me that I
Now
need
you're
to be
going way out
doing
of
the
the realm.
laundry, washing my husband's underwear,
Oh my gosh,
cooking
and we're washing
dinner,
husband's
and not
underwear.
being out here
Must be I hit a
fighting for my
nerve.
community, then that's a real
Listen
problem.
to her go
and
on.
I'm
Is
sorry,
this your
but I
stance in your
disagree with
election?
you. I disagree with you until the end
What are you disagreeing on?
of the. There's
What are you
that
disagreeing
that
on?
women can't do this.
I didn't say women can't. I
Oh,
said you
mothers
said
can't.
you can't.
Okay. Any other public comments?
I make a motion to close public comment.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Any abstentions? Okay, wow, I'm gonna have to let that go. That one really got me going, wow. All right, report of the highway superintendent.
All right, short and sweet. Guys are continuing to mow alongside the roads. We sandblasted, repaired, primed, and painted the box on the 1 ton I was talking to you about last month. I did get a quote on brand new boxes without tailgates, identical box. They were $25.92 or $26.92. They're just over $2,500. So by the time I got the quote back, we already had it fixed up. So we're gonna go with it again until next time it needs repair. So we're not gonna spend any money on that truck right now, other than what we already did. We also sandblasted, repaired, primed and painted the box on our 2007 Sterling 10-wheeler. That was, we did the 2007 Freightliner a couple years ago. This year we did the Sterling. We've shouldered the newly paved roads. That's where most of that crusher run you're seeing those bills went. Actually, that what's in the bills there is going back in the stockpile to build their pile back up. But we did shoulder the Horning Road and portion of Con Road that was paved. Last week, I forget, maybe it was the week before, we helped the villages Canterbury, Fort Plain, and St. Johnsville mill their streets. We sent trucks. In exchange for us sending trucks, they gave us the material that went on our trucks. So in the village, they have to mill the streets before they can pave them, otherwise the curbs disappear. Ain't like out in the country, you can just put a layer on. No, in the village, they have to pick it up. So we did work one day for the 3 villages. They did all 3 of them in one day. And the last thing I got is, last month, we talked about replacing equipment a little bit. I said we should replace the big plow truck. And Sarah asked for like a 3-year plan. And if I remember correct, you said aim high or something to that effect, or my wildest dreams or whatever. What I just gave you I still think we should replace something this year. We should replace something every year. I still think we're obviously not gonna replace the big plow truck, so I think we ought to replace my pickup truck and the 1-ton dump. Next year, I've got down replacing the bucket loader that's only gonna be 2 years old at an estimated cost of $0. Only I say that because the town of Stark has been doing it for 8 years. They buy a new loader, they use it 2 years, they sell it at auction with a reserve on it that it brings what their new one costs. They've done it 4 times. So they've got a new loader now that at 4 years ago pricing.
So just, this would be a new purchase though?
That would be replacing the one that we just got last year.
Oh, okay.
We've got 2 loaders, that would be replacing the same one, but like I say,
2015 purchase, right, okay.
it's, you can sell the loader after a year or 2 and get what a new one costs the town because we can buy them so much cheaper than a contractor.
It's on a contract, right? State
Right.
contract?
Right. It's on state contract, and the state contract pricing, you can buy
Much cheaper.
cheaper than what the average Joe can buy for.
Ari, do you sell the loader first to make sure we have the cash?
No, you price a new loader, you're gonna know what the new loader is gonna cost. They'll give you a price up front on what the new loader costs. You put your loader on the internet for sale, if it doesn't bring what you don't want, you don't have to sell it.
But you don't have to, you're not committed to buying.
You're not committed to buying a new one, they give you a purchase order good for 30 days, a price guarantee for 30 days.
I just don't want to be one of these things, we buy one and then we go to sell it,
Right.
it's 30,000 less.
Right, I understand, right, I totally with you on that, but that's why I put down 0 cost for that, because, I actually did, for giggles, talked to John Deere a couple months ago about trading it in 1-year-old, and the problem is John Deere has a bunch of them sitting in their lot. So they didn't give us a very good trade-in offer on a new one, so I didn't bother bringing it to the board, because it wasn't nothing that was even kosher. Also, next year would be replacing the plow truck that I originally wanted to replace this year, the big 4-wheel drive. It's the only 4-wheel drive we have, it'll be the only 4-wheel drive I think we need. Of course, 4-wheel drive adds extra expense, but I think we should have one in the garage. We've got one now, I think we should stay with one. 2018, I've got down replacing the 1996 Great All. It'll be 22 years old by that time. It's got over 6,000 hours on it right now. They're not cheap. You can see what the number is on that.
Yeah.
And literally, I asked the salesman, what's ours worth? And he said nothing.
If we ever explore possibly freshening it up like we do with the tractor trailer, like fresh motors, everything, possibly doing something like that.
The
Hydraulics,
problem is the
whatever
Great All is a
possible.
lot of hydraulics. Hydraulics
Right.
gets expensive. And we've put a lot of money in the Great All already.
Okay.
Before you come on board, we had to put a transmission charge pump and stuff into it. Very costly.
I just don't know if we ever kicked that tire.
There's-
Or if we ever thought about possibly
Used.
Niagara Mohawk or somebody like that when they auction off.
But Great All is a very, Great All
Maybe
is
something
a,
like that might not be a value
Right.
seeing it specialized. I don't know.
you
that.
can, once in a while, you're like a squirrel, blind squirrel finding a nut. Bill Holvig, town of Mohawk, they found one that was a year old, wrecked, and fixed, and bought it at a substantial savings.
Mhm.
But that's something that,
Yeah, that's.
I'm always looking for
between,
something like that.
right.
I'm always looking for something like that. And then,
Do you have a, oh, go ahead.
and then lastly, for the last year I got down on this was 2019, to be replacing another plow truck, replacing the other 1-ton dump truck, and that's 2 years from 17, that'd be replacing the loader again.
So we're in the process right now of doing the budget for next year, and I want to make sure that as we budget for next year, we're really looking at the long term.
Right, and that's what you said, so that's.
Yeah, so this is really helpful. What also would be helpful, do you have an inventory
Of the big stuff?
of everything?
Yeah, it's about 7, I give you one every September.
Okay,
Alright.
so, and that's correct?
And this
Okay.
would contain the mileage or hours on each piece of machinery.
It doesn't, but I can,
Can we get that,
Sure.
please?
So we should get one next month, is what you're saying, because you.
If possible, yeah.
Well, no, if it comes in September, yeah.
Right.
well, the inventory I give you in September lists everything. It lists the garage tools, it lists,
Yeah,
okay.
it lists the air wrenches, it lists everything.
Oh, really? That
Yeah.
detailed, okay.
But The big stuff, I've got a sheet similar to this that everything was listed on, that I can just go through and freshen up and put the current hours and,
Great.
you know, it's got I rated them on a scale of 1 to 10 on condition. You know, like the 2003 plow truck, the box in that truck has been sandblasted and painted twice since we've had it. Right now, the back corners are so rotted, we're gonna have to have special pieces of steel bent and made. We're gonna cut the whole back of the box off to try saving this thing to make the box last a few more years. Otherwise, you're looking at replacing the box, and I can't see putting a new box on an old truck.
But, and you know it's gonna make it 3 more years.
Well, hopefully, we've already, well, the floor is already worn, the floor has already worn through where the chain goes for the sander. Last year, 2 years ago, we did that truck. Last year, we did the other truck. So the floor with the chain run, that's the high wear item. That's already been fixed once. It went 12 years, 13 years. So the floor should go another 12 or 13 years. But the back corners that hold the tailgate up, they're rusted from the inside out. There's nothing you can do about it.
Artie, what's a box on that truck?
Cost?
Yeah, what do they run? Just
Off
the top of your head, nothing.
To replace the box in that truck, you're probably looking at $35,000. It's a flow and dump. It's got the sander built right into it.
Okay.
But that would be a regular metal box, not a stainless steel,
No,
correct?
that'd be regular metal, yeah.
What would stainless steel look like? I think?
Probably
Just a
10,000
guesstimate.
10,000 more.
Right, but a stainless steel one would certainly just go for a lot of years.
Well, that's why the last truck we bought, I bought stainless steel on the last
Okay,
truck. I
good.
mean, you can,
Good.
you know, every year you're touching up paint on trucks, and that one with stainless, you're not doing nothing.
Not
to it.
doing anything to it, right?
Right.
It's longevity.
Hosing it off.
For the $10,000, the longevity would certainly be well worth it.
Right, well, the stainless steel box should last the life of the truck.
Theoretically, yes. Yeah.
This is
Understand.
very helpful. So before the next meeting, if you could get to me that updated
Mileage and stuff.
Please.
on,
Yeah.
on
All right, I'll
on
get
the
that.
big stuff. And then for next meeting, it'll be fine to have the regular list of the
All right.
smaller stuff and inventory. I can use that. What I
Yeah,
got
I
from
do that
last
for you.
year. Thank you.
You're welcome.
And I'll get back before, obviously, what day, I think we have, what's the deadline for them to get their department numbers?
Well, she's got September 2nd, but the book says September 20th. So I don't understand why she wants them back by the 2nd. We got till September 20th. I mean, that's only a week off, September 2nd.
Just because we need to get our proposal by the 30th. And if the earlier you can get it,
So you guys.
we can have the conversation, whatever you get to me,
Yeah.
we'll have it'll be an iterative
Yeah,
conversation.
it won't take me
Yeah.
long to update the list, because everything's already listed. It's just a matter of walking around and updating numbers on it.
Yeah, great,
It takes long to get that.
great. So she already sent the request for September 2nd?
Yeah, I just got it.
Okay, perfect.
That's all I got. Unless you guys got some
What was
questions.
the year on that Brado? What year was that?
It's a 96.
Thank you, thank you.
Thank you, Art.
Yes, thank you.
Oh, and one last thing. I looked at the state replacement schedule that was emailed to me today. I was looking at it, and I went out to work on the truck and come back in. I forgot to print it out. I'll bring you a copy. I'll get you a copy of that.
Yes,
Will you
please.
just forward it to my email?
Yep.
You have it, right?
Yeah.
Yes, could I see a copy, please, Art?
Yeah.
Just forward to all of us.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yep.
Any more questions for Art? Cheryl?
Okay, last month I handled 2 complaints. I issued 1 appearance ticket for dog at large. I completed the rabies case from last month. I issued 16 10-day notices for non-renewal and 5 for no license. And I had 1 call for a found dog. And I received 1 call about a stray cat over by Rite Aid, and I referred them to the animal shelter. That's it.
Great, thank you. And Leanne?
Not a whole lot going on. We're still working on the Cayman lawsuit. We're waiting for the appraisal. We're hoping to have it by the first week of September. Then I'll make the drive meet with the appraiser, see if there's negotiation room, or if not, we'll know better once we get our appraisal to them. Then we can have a copy of theirs. There was an issue with the Fusillo property that was settled. There's 2 structures on the property that was settled by the town last year, 2 years ago, I can't remember, I think it was last year.
Last year.
Even though in the paperwork, it only stated there was one, that error was caught. This year, we're working on something to rectify that situation because they're currently only showing 2 buildings on the tax rolls. The
I'd
other
like to
thing-
really look at that closely.
Well, that's, and had it gone the way it should have with going, going past, then that would have come out prior to a settlement.
Right.
But instead, we're now locked into a settlement, but I don't know how locked in. We're locked into a settlement for an assessment based on 1 building when there's actually 2 there. And I have, again, I've had this discussion, I think it was last year at one of the board meetings, that's a problem for me.
Yeah,
It should have been.
I think it's probably
It's
a problem for all of
for
us.
us.
So, Greg and I will look at it and see what we can do. That's, the thing was to try to shove something through this year. By the time it came out, by the time the situation was made, that we knew the roll had been filed, and I didn't want to run into anything because I want to make sure we look at everything that we need to look at.
Yeah, I think that settlement was regrettable, and if it was based on a, property that is not even existent, if it was 1 building and it's actually 2,
Right.
then, and we can revisit the settlement, then that probably
That's
makes
what I'm
sense.
hoping for.
Yeah.
Like I said, but I of course don't know any way that works. But Greg's been was made aware of it when it first came about, and like I said, it gives us time to try to rectify the situation.
Yeah, great.
My other thing was, and when we settled with Kim Jahiri, when I sat with the mayor, the deputy mayor, and Greg and Kim Jahiri, it was brought to my attention that there was 2 court dates set for us to show up. I did have it in one of my reports, but I did happen to see something in one of the minutes that, I don't know who made the statement, but that we were aware that those 2 court dates were made. I was never made aware of those court dates. Sarah, I think I called you the one Friday night in panic when I found out I was supposed to be in court the day after Columbus Day. I didn't know. If the board knew.
Our previous attorney certainly did not let me know. Or
Well,
you
and I know I
and-
didn't know because, like I said,
So.
but you know what? That's not the way I like to do my job. That's not the way I like my department to be. I like to be where I'm supposed to be at all times. That's humanly possible. So, I just want to make that clear that we did not know, as far as I was made aware.
Yeah.
Those 2 court dates
But
in
now
June
it's-
and October.
Now
It's
we're-
done. It's been settled. We've got it set up so that we will revisit their water usage every year and adjust accordingly.
Perfect.
They were very, very happy with that resolution.
Great, thank you. And I want to express on behalf of myself and the board, we've been thinking about you, it's been a tough time, and, whatever we can do.
Well, I appreciate it. Linda's been good about getting to me if somebody's here when I'm